Good morning, good morning, good morning, good
Morning.
morning, good
It
morning.
is morning though out here.
I was about to say for y'all it is. See, over here it's 10:30 at night, 10:36.
Whitney,
What's
how
up?
are you? How are you feeling today, this afternoon?
I am
Evening.
feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Lamar, where'd you go, man?
I'm right here. I'm trying
Oh, there
to.
you go. Okay.
I'm trying to make it.
I was about to say I can see and hear you. There's no there's no issue on my end. I was jamming a minute ago. I ain't even gonna lie.
Who were you jamming to?
I was rewatching uh the praise team from my church. We record our services. We live stream our services on Facebook, and then we send them to YouTube so you can rewatch the whole service. And
Nice.
praise team was going in. I'll tell you, this weekend has just been like an awesome day for praise and worship. It was
Oh,
nice all weekend long.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
So, what are some of your favorite songs?
Mm. Um, to sing, I like to sing Waymaker.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I like He's Able. Um, but as play, I love to play them all though. I love to play praise breaks. Just.
So hold on. Let's go back. So you said to sing. So that means you sing.
That means I what?
So you sing.
Yes. I see. I'm trying not to be negative about what. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. Other people say I sing, so yeah. No, let me not. Okay, let me
Sing that
say
real quick.
I sing with a wonderful ministry team called Worship Without Walls. That's my squad. Love them.
That's awesome.
Well,
And
let us hear you worship without walls right now.
I know. Always trying to put people on the spot, sir.
Yeah.
Take them Jericho walls down real quick. You gonna let
So,
me sitting up there?
I'm gonna let them sit up there for right now, just for right now.
all right. So then, and you said you play as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a musician. I come from a family of musicians, so I play tenor sax. My
Oh shoot, we got a saxophone player, bro.
Yeah, that's why I knew somebody was a saxophone
Hey, my
player.
partner is in some deep prayer right now.
Tenor.
Slump.
He plays tenor also.
Well,
Mm-hmm. I was
this guy's the drummer.
Wait, who's a drummer?
This guy's the drummer.
Look at his face. Look at his bottom of his lip. Look,
Yeah. See, y'all ain't
he's
wrong.
done.
Why do him like that? He sleep.
He's done.
That's a typical drummer thing to do.
I can't deny that. I can't deny that.
Okay, so
You
tenor
play?
sax. What up?
My first instrument was bassoon, but you won't see that in many churches unless you go to like um a big church that has like a full orchestra pit because it's a classical instrument
Yeah.
and it's not very common in church, not in black churches. You won't see that, but that was my
Nice.
yeah. What about you? Do you play?
I don't know, a little bit.
He
Mm,
lying.
I play a little bit of everything.
I feel like there's more to that story, sir. Bring it on out. What is that?
Yeah, nah, yeah, I do play. I play music. I play a little bit of everything,
Nice.
except for the saxophone and a couple other
Oh,
things. But
okay. And
yeah,
see, I can hold a beat on drums. I am not a drummer like that. I'm not. But
As long as you can stay in the pocket, we're good.
If this church is desperate and there's nobody else, I can hop on set and like carry a decent beat. But
Hey.
I'm not a drummer like that.
That's all you need.
I can get by. They probably won't pay me for it, but you know.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying because my skills on drums are not. They're not where they need to be. I'm not a drummer. That's okay. See, the Lord didn't make me to be a drummer. He knew I'm a saxophonist at heart, and that's all right.
I would love to hear you play the sax one day. Hopefully,
I'll be playing soon. My church is a part of an organization called the California Apostolic Fellowship, and I will be playing there September 23rd and 24th. It'll be in Fresno. I'm so excited because I'm getting back together with the band. Oh, so excited.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time we've been like in person since the pandemic started. So I think we'll live stream this one. I don't know for sure, but yeah.
Do you have any recordings of you playing?
Yeah, but I mean they're like not on like the official page. They're on friends, who recorded on their phone and whatnot. So yeah. But we should do that.
Plentiful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hopefully one of these days soon we can hear you play the sax. Have you met our saxophone player yet?
No. Lamar was telling me about him and I heard him play a little bit.
He's crazy.
Nice.
I mean, that's my brother. But I mean, we all grew up together playing music. My whole family is musically inclined. So,
nice.
Every time we'd have like Christmas parties or Thanksgiving or anything like that, like we all played something. So we would jam out, and then
that's cool.
As teenagers, we had this little band that we called Replay because we'd be playing the cover song, like we'd be a cover band. And so we started off with like going around town to different little youth events and leading worship at the youth events and stuff like that. And then we wanted to do a little more with it, and we just all grew up and had, got married and had kids and had to work, and we unfortunately had, life happened, and we all went our ways and our separate ways, and the Lord reconnected us, and now we're here with a full-blown studio and ministry and all this crazy stuff. And so we're blessed, but music has been a big part of my life, mainly just church, worshiping. That's been a big thing for me, and so I don't see my life without it.
Me neither. I really don't. And I think that's kind of why it's hard for me to see myself as something other than a musician, just because so I grew up, like the church I go to now is the church I grew up in. And I've been playing music since I was like 11, 12 years old. I started in middle school. Like in middle school where they have you do like the elective class and you can choose that one class. I chose because my dad is a musician and all of his brothers and my aunt, they're all musicians. So like I grew up around it. I grew up on old school gospel quartet, like chant spirituals. Like that's my heart. I love that. But yeah, so I grew up, listening to lots of different types of music. And then when I got a chance to play, before I started playing in the church, though, my dad had a band with some of the guys from the church. They called themselves the Zioneers. That was my dad's group. My dad played bass. I call him Uncle Daryl, but my Uncle Daryl played lead guitar and sang. My dad sings. Um, some of the deacons from my church played keyboard, and then also sang, just like all the guys from the church. They were like
Yeah.
in old school group. And then, but me wanting to be, hang out with my dad. I was like, "Ooh, Dad, can I play? Can I play?" So I would bug him all the time. And
Yeah.
then finally he would be like, "Yeah, you can come to rehearsal." So yeah, I sat in on one rehearsal. Um, and they were like, "Oh, okay, you're cool." And then I remember the first time playing at church, I was so nervous because I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. So, and I was still at the time like learning the saxophone. Like I could play it, but playing by ear and reading music is different. Now, thankfully, I can do
Yeah.
both. But yeah, when the first time I played, because in church, it's like you have to pick it up as it's going.
Yeah.
There's nobody there teaching you parts. You just have to get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
So yeah, and especially praise
I
breaks.
remember. I remember the first time I played for the church. I
Yeah.
was probably 6 years old, 7 years old,
Oh dang, you
and
started early.
so I was a drummer initially.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really caught my attention when
Yeah.
I began to when I first had an interest with music. It was percussion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so my dad, I grew up watching my dad, play tracks, and he played these drums called congas, and
Yeah.
it's
I
a
love
Puerto
going.
Rican thing that, like, Puerto Ricans love playing bongoses and congas and timbales and all of that. And
Yeah.
so I grew up watching him. He on Saturdays, on Fridays, he would play some tracks, and he would sit there on the couch, and he'd pull his congas up to his like close to him, and he'd start playing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched him do that for years, and then finally one day, my dad was not able to make it to church, and so my dad played the congas for the worship band, and um, I knew that my dad wasn't gonna make it to church, and I just felt led to get up there and play the congas, and I had never played him before, and
Wow.
I just watched him. And one day, that day, I just felt led to go up there, and finally, I walk up there and I started playing. And as
Yeah.
soon as I started playing, my dad walks in, and he watches me. He's looking at me from the entrance of the church. Like, I look up and I see him, and it was just an emotional, moment, because you
Oh,
know, for him it was like, man, that's my son. I didn't know that he even played them, but
yeah.
to not only see me play them, but to I could only imagine the feeling of father. I mean, I am a father now too, but like just feeling that that your kid um watched you do this, and he just picked up something that you had been doing. You didn't have to force him to learn it, or anything like that. It was just you have influenced him in a positive way,
Right.
uh, to just be able to want to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so for him, it was very emotional. For me, it was very emotional because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, to see him walk in and tear up and give me a big old
Oh,
hug and tell me he was proud of me for stepping up, and obviously, like, the whole gesture of me taking his place, also
yeah.
too, like, I'm sure that was really emotional for him. But I remember that day like it was yesterday, because from that day on, I just began to really want to learn more, and I wanted to be more, involved with the worship team, and then I
Mm-hmm.
got really into the music, and they bought me my first drum set and
Oh wow.
drums, and then they started investing left and right because we just showed so much interest in music. I remember my dad built a whole, music studio at our house, and he's like, I'm gonna support you guys with everything I can, because I believe in this, and I believe this is gonna take you guys long ways, and it's for the kingdom. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do everything I can to support you guys. And sure enough, they bought us everything and anything you could think of. Um, and we spent every day in the studio just practicing and learning, and until we got to a place where we could play, as a group together.
Yeah.
And once again, like, to be in this position now and doing what we're doing now, I know that it brings great joy and happiness to them, because what they invested in us and what they, supported and sowed into, like, it it didn't go in vain. Like, we're here now, and we're here now, obviously, first and foremost for the Lord, because of the
Right.
Lord, but also because our parents were obedient to what the Lord, put in their hearts to do, and that's to invest and sow into, this. And so I know that they feel super proud and happy to um, see us doing this, because I know that they're like, man, like, we just all we did is we just supported them in it, and we prayed and we asked the Lord to do the rest, and now they're here.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And you guys are called Dark Room Worship, right?
Dark room worship. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. How many people are in your group?
Ooh, we got a good bit of people.
Yeah.
I think we got like a total of 12 people in the band.
Okay.
But outside of the band, as far as the team goes, I mean, it's a lot of us, between family and girlfriends and wives and kids and all of that. It's a lot of us. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I
Okay.
know every time we travel, it seems like the team gets bigger and bigger, and it's almost like we never have enough space.
For everybody.
So, but it's awesome. I mean, it's awesome to be able to, you know, be a part of something like this, but also it feel like we're just all family, brothers and sisters, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
But I mean,
so
that's how I feel with like Worship Without Walls. Even though like I play with them, but I mainly sing with them, and I'm learning to step into that because that's the singing is outside of my comfort zone. Like I am a goofy, crazy person, and so like I sing all day, every day. But I'm not singing like for people. Definitely not like as ministry. But like when I got involved with Worship Without Walls, God set me up with that. God is funny. Um, so it was actually at um the our one of our CAF councils that I was telling you about earlier,
hmm
and it was the last one that we had in Fresno before the pandemic started. It was in September of 2019. I was cool in my little musician corner. I was up front with Miss Jackie, James, and the other musicians. But praise and worship was so heavy in the building that day. I remember one of the elders was giving his testimony about his daughter who was sick at the time. She's had lots of health issues, and God brought that little girl through stuff like a lot of adults don't survive through.
hmm
Um, and she was as the elder was giving the testimony about all the things that she was going through. Um, I don't think she understood at the time, but that little girl was a praiser. And she was in her body cast, and she was in her body cast. I remember she had a back brace on. But while her dad was, giving the testimony, he was already stirred up, right? And then out of nowhere, she just runs up to the altar and she starts dancing. The whole
mm
church lit up. I'm telling you, we went into praise and worship so hard. I
Yeah.
could not. I could not sit. You know what it's like? You're giving God praise not because oh, he did this one thing, but it's like, man, he's showing how good he's been and how he's bringing people through. And like her case was extreme. Like she's had health issues from what I understand, like since she was born. um
hmm
like life and death health issues for a long time. But God had seen her through it every step of the way. And in 2019, though, she was in the fight of her life. She was in and out of the hospital. She had coded a few times. And so the church, we were in prayer and fasting for her for like a month straight. And then when it came time to that CAF, she was doing better. She was, obviously not in the hospital anymore. And when the elder was giving her the testimony about everything that God had brought her through, the whole church just went up in praise and worship. It was kind of like a blackout moment. Like, I remember that, but I don't remember much else afterwards because we were in.
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, as we were kind of settling down, I was still in worship mode, and I didn't realize that I was singing. I didn't know. I thought I had my saxophone near me, but I didn't realize that I was singing. And I'm sitting up in the front of the church, and the musician's pit is like to the front right of the church. So I'm in the front of the church, and I'm singing. Apparently, I was loud because one of the founders of Worship Without Walls heard me, and she started harmonizing with me. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, all right, cool. So there was somebody singing with me. All right. And then after service was over, we had like a dinner for everybody to just kind of fellowship. And she came up to me and she was like, girl, you can sing. I said, yeah, right. Quit playing. She was like, no, I heard you. I said, oh, well, I didn't mean for anybody to hear me. I was just, I was just working it out with God. But she was like, yeah, you can really sing. And then later on that night, I had already driven back to Sacramento, and she was like, I just need you to say yes to this one thing that I'm going to ask you. And I had already told God earlier that day that I'm going to commit to my yes, God. I was like, God, whatever you want from me. Yes, Lord, I'll tell you yes.
Yeah.
Bamboozled by Jesus. So she said, I want you to sing with us. I want you to be a part of Worship Without Walls. I was like, you're funny. I'm not a singer. I am a musician, and I will play for you happily.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, I will play, but I am not a singer. She was like, but yeah, you need to be singing. So I was like, I already told Jesus I'd say yes, so I guess I got to do what I said.
Yeah.
So I said yes, and it's been a journey ever since. It's been a journey ever since.
Are you still out here, bro?
Yeah, I'm in the back.
This man.
Not on, but yeah, he listening. He knows who I'm talking about.
Messing up the low.
Lamar is wild, man.
I know. Yeah.
He'll be messed up when he ends up in California again, because this is Georgia time and y'all's time.
We're 3 hours apart. That's
So-
why I was wondering. I was like, why are y'all still up? It's late back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys working on new music?
I mean, we're always working on something. Earlier, it's funny because we'll pray, we'll come in here and pray, and then we'll have communion, and then we'll just kind of worship. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than we just let Holy Spirit kind of do his thing and
Yep.
start playing. And every time this happens, like we get in here and we start playing and we get into it, and then like after we're done, we look at each other and we're like, did anybody record that? Because like that was lit,
Yeah.
And we never get to record it,
Y'all gotta hit the record button first.
so but it's fine either way. It's a good time, and we're always just working on our skills, and not so much to rely on our skills, but just because this is what we do, and
Yeah.
we want to make sure that we're doing it to the best of our abilities, because the Lord deserves that.
Right.
So
It's funny you say it's not so that we can do things with our skills. I mean, I obviously, God uses, who he chooses, but God gifts us with certain gifts and talents because he does want us to use them for him. And if we
Yeah.
can sharpen our skills and give him our best offering, our best praise, our best worship,
Yeah.
that's he's glorified in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about, even, you know, when he says that we need to be good stewards of, anything that he's given us, not just with money or not just with, all these other things. I take that also serious with the gift that he's given me. And
Yeah.
I guess this is me being a good steward of it, because while there's other people out there that would want to be able to do these things and be able to play an instrument or sing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it if I'm not, if I'm not being a good steward of my gift, which means me taking the time to work on my, on my
Yeah.
gift, and being able to, every day learn and be a little better at it, because it is something that he's given me. Like, that to me is me being a good steward of my gift.
Right. Uh-oh, I lost you. Are you still there? Well, shoot. Being a good steward of the gift. I know what that means. For me personally, since I am a horn player, if I'm gonna just be honest, since this pandemic has happened, I have not been playing as much, because I'm like, this corona out in these streets, and I know some people have been playing and doing their thing, but I was like, no, no, God, I'm not gonna be playing in church and stuff, or anywhere for that matter. I haven't been playing really. Um, so yeah, but now that the world is opened back up again, and now that it's time to put our gifts back into action and use them in service and all that again. I've got to be practicing more. I do. Not to say that I've lost it. Must be still there, but yeah, I need to be practicing more. That's actually what I started doing. I started just having my sax out so that when I come home from work, before I just, relax and get lazy, I'll practice a little bit. And yeah, I practice, man. Practice is necessary, but it's like, good Lord. When you don't want to go over like the basic stuff, because like, I already know this, but no. One of the saxophonists that I love and aspire to be like, his name is Kirk Whalum. He was Whitney Houston's saxophone player for, I think, over 10 years. Um, he did a seminar, and I think for one of the jazz fests in Montreal, I want to say. Anyway, he was saying the great ones practice the basics. So I was like, okay, humble yourself, Whitney. If you were doing this for the glory of God, for one, because you love to do it, two, because it is your gift and it is part of your ministry, then yeah, you need to be proficient at it. You need to be the best at it, as best as you can be. So, or the best that you can be. So yeah, I am getting back to practicing scales, practicing long tones, practicing my breathing, which I really need to work on, especially since I had COVID back in 2021. And thankfully, I didn't have any lingering effects, but um, just I've noticed that, with my breathing, I have to be more intentional with with how I use my breath when I'm playing. So yeah, I gotta get back to the basics. Get back to the basics. Lamar, are you still on here? I can see you doing stuff, but I don't see anybody on here. Are you here? And I think the other was lost. Okay. Hold up.
I'm not. Hey man, would love clean this crap up. Cause I mean, hey, like, oh, that's so dope.
We're all in this together, right? But I also don't expect you to clean up after me, just like I'm not gonna clean up after you. You know?
Bum, 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 bum.